Welcome back, girls, guys, and everyone else. Once again, it is your friend Arachnid Soul, coming to you today comparing two graphics cards. My old graphics card, the GTX 745 that served me well, versus my brand new graphics card, the GTX 960 budget graphics card. It is the Zotac brand, and it is a 4GB DDR5 memory VRAM card. Now, I've put some extra information on the screen, and that's just so you can see I haven't overclocked anything. Both of these cards are stock. We will be playing both of these videos side by side on ultra settings. Now, obviously, if I ran them on lower than ultra settings, I would get a higher frame rate, but I said let's really stress the cards. On the left there, you see that GTX 745. It's chugging along. It's not even making it to 20 frames. Hell, it's not even making it to 15 frames right now. And on the right, you see that GTX 960. Hitting 50 frames right there as we approach the bridge. And I know you're saying, well, 50 frames, this game is capped at 60. You're still not hitting max frames. What you gotta remember is I've got God Shade on. It's on Ultra. I've got all of the shaders on Ultra. So this is a worst case scenario with the 960. You're going to hit 40 frames, you're going to hit 50 frames, turn off the God rays, turn the shading down, run this on high, overclock, any of these things, you're going to hit 60 frames a second. I should also point out, the game looks a little bit different. What the hell's going on here? Oh, that's because I'm running the Decay mod, and that is the Decay Reshade preset is a mod. You could get the link for this mod in the description below. And I'll also tell you, this mod has little to no loss to frames per second. So it really doesn't matter. I just played the game, and as a big Fallout fan, I thought the game's way too colorful considering it's been 2 centuries. None of the paint has faded, and a lot of the stuff looked oversaturated to me. That Decay preset is the only texture mod I have on. I took everything else off. And to be honest with you, the only reason I didn't take the Decay one off is because I installed that before Nexus Mod Manager came out, so I manually installed it. It overwrit the other texture files, and I said, you know what? It makes no difference because we're running Decay on both cards, so we're comparing apples with apples. Later on, I was able to go back without even overclocking, just turning some of the settings down, and I was able to hit 60 frames per second. And actually, when I used another mod, hell, I'll put the link to that in the description as well, I was able to uncap the frames, and I made it up to 70, sometimes 80 frames a second. Not really good to do that on this game, but I was able to do it. I can also point out, with this GTX 960, I was able to run the following games on Ultra and hit 60 frames a second. 7 Days to Die, Skyrim, Loadout, the Zombie Army Trilogy, Smite. Hell, on Smite, I was getting about 135 frames a second on Ultra. Insurgency at 60 frames. Warframe at 60 frames. And let me tell you, Warframe's a gorgeous looking game. I had that game at one point on high settings, not on Ultra settings, running at about 135 frames a second. I put the VSync on, I turned everything on, it came down a little bit. It was down about 80 frames, and then I capped it at 60. And mind you, all of these games I ran at 1920 by 1080. So this GTX 960 budget card runs brand new about $200. I've seen it go as low as about $185. It has doubled my performance on so many games. So many games I used to run on low settings and get 30 frames a second. I'm running on Ultra now and getting 60 frames or above. Great card. Once again, it has been your friend Arachnid Soul, intellectual, voracious, and passionate about bringing you that sweet split screen. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, check out the resource well. Look at that resource well. See? Not description, resource well. Follow me on Twitter at Arachnid Soul, and I will catch you girls, guys, and everyone else out there in between later.